U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Gnome is under fire after failing to disclose $80,000 she received while serving as South Dakota's governor. Investigative outlet ProPublica reported that the funds came from a dark money group called American Resolve Policy Fund. The group reportedly paid Noem for fundraising help, yet the payment never appeared on her public ethics disclosure filings. The group, which doesn't reveal its donors, later funded attack ads against media outlets reporting on Noem. In 2023, the money was transferred to Noem's personal LLC, Ashwood Strategies, incorporated in Delaware, as per the report. American Resolve reportedly raised $1.1 million that year and paid Noem's firm 10% of $800,000 in fundraising revenue. Noem, now leading parts of Trump's immigration crackdown, has faced repeated scrutiny over her lavish lifestyle. As South Dakota governor in 2021, on a salary of $130,000, Noem spent $68,000 installing a sauna, chandeliers, and rugs in the governor's mansion, according to the Sioux Falls Argus Leader. In March 2024, she was also sued for promoting a dental clinic without disclosing a financial tie or labeling the post as an ad. Recently, Noem raised eyebrows when she wore a $50,000 gold Rolex Cosmograph Daytona watch while visiting El Salvador's terrorism confinement center, the prison that is holding alleged Tren de Aragua members deported from the U.S. Noem also made headlines when her Gucci handbag containing $3,000 in cash was stolen from a restaurant in Washington.
Sir, you spent a lot of time with Secretary Noem today, obviously. Did you discuss with her at all this report about an $80,000 dark money payment she received in 23 and appears to have been kept off her federal disclosure forms?
No, I haven't. You're telling me this for the first time. I think she's done an amazing job.
On Secretary Noem, you talked about how
Who you with?
the Washington Examiner today.
Good paper, actually.
Thank you. Are you concerned right now, again, with the speed of the deportations? Obviously, Tom and Stephen Miller had talked about this isn't productive.
Well, it's going to take a long period of time. We're going to have a lot of angst because it's a tough thing. But no, I think they're doing an amazing job. And we're doing a lot of home deportations. We're doing a lot of deportations, self-deportations, where they come in and they deport, and then they want to come back into the country. And they can only come back into the country under no circumstances unless they go out the proper way. Otherwise, they're never coming back in. No, I think it's going very well. Look, Biden did us a tremendous disservice when he allowed this to happen to our country. And I always said it's the toughest thing. I had inflation and I got rid of it. We don't have inflation. I had a bad economy and we set a new stock market high today. We're doing unbelievable. The country's doing unbelievable. I always said the most difficult thing is what happened at the border, allowing 21 or 25 million people to come into our country. It's the most different. It's a very hard thing. I think we're doing a fantastic job at getting them out. But you have a lot of self-deporting, a lot more than people understand. And those people are eligible maybe to come back in.
Mr. President, are you thinking of extending the pause on tariffs beyond July 9th?
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking about the pause. I'll be writing letters to a lot of countries. And I think you're just starting to understand the process. We dealt with Japan. I'm not sure if we're going to make a deal. I doubt it with Japan. They're very tough. You have to understand they're very spoiled. I love Japan. I really like the new prime minister, too. Abe was one of my closest friends. As you know, the new prime minister is great. He's a very strong guy. But they and others are so spoiled from having ripped us off for 30, 40 years that it's really hard for them to make a deal. It's very hard. As an example with Japan, they won't take rice, and yet they desperately need rice. You know that. But they won't take rice. They won't take other products that we have. But think of it, they need rice so badly, but they won't take rice. I think that was an easy one. Or the cars, as you know, they send out millions. We didn't give them one car in 10 years. They won't take any cars, but they'll sell millions. So we tell them, sorry, you can't do that. And we have a great relationship, great reliance, and really a great sort of a partnership in a way. But on trade, they've been very unfair. and those days are gone. So what I'm going to do is I'll write them a letter, say we thank you very much, and we know you can't do the kind of things that we need, and therefore you'll pay a 30%, 35%, or whatever the number is that we determine, because we also have a very big trade deficit with Japan, as you know. And it's very unfair to the American people. So they maybe will be happy, they maybe won't be happy. But some countries we won't even allow to trade. But for the most part, we're going to determine a number, just very simply write them a nice letter, probably 1 page or a page and a half at the most. And it's going to be essentially congratulations. It's going to be an honor to allow you to go and do business in the United States of America, because it really is an honor to be able to do that. But we never viewed it that way in this country. And you saw we took in $129 billion in tariffs already. We haven't even started. No inflation. Our country's strong. Our interest rate should be 3 points lower. If our interest rate was 3 points lower, that's almost $1 trillion in cost. And it's done just by the signing of a pen. But we have a moron at the head of the Fed. He's a moron.
Speaking of J. Powell, do you have a top choice or something?
I do. I have 2 or 3 top choices. No. You almost got me then. Sir, no.
Your other trade deals that are supposed to be done. Do you think you will
Yeah.
announce over the next week?
I think we're going to have a deal with India, possibly. And that's going to be a different kind of a deal. It's going to be a deal where we're able to go in and compete. Right now, India doesn't accept anybody in. I think India is going to do that. And if they do that, we're going to have a deal for much less tariffs.
DeSantis was smart.
You were telling me, by the way.
You're welcome. Hey, real quickly, you mentioned Alejandro Mayorkas. He was impeached in the House, cleared in the Senate. Investigating him, can we investigate the auto pen? What's our further investigation?
Well, the auto pen is under investigation. The auto pen's a serious thing. I think it's one of the most serious things I've heard. Mayorkas was a terrible, terrible secretary, but he was given orders to do things, and the people that gave those orders probably have pardons. You know, Biden pardoned a lot of people. The only one he didn't pardon was himself. But I don't know if I'd do to him what he did to me. Problem is, you wouldn't understand what happened, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Video with Speaker Johnson's telling her about how we stopped the LNG gas if I'd argue something else.
Oh, yeah.
For example, if you think there are, that Speaker Johnson, that President Biden just didn't know what he's doing.
President Obama was a terrible president. President Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. President Bush should not have gone into the Middle East and blown the place up. So I don't give him high marks either. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. I give Trump very high marks. Goodbye, everyone.